Guys, I actually bought tripods. I bought one. And ignore the toys, okay? I collect toys, alright? Also, anyway. So it's gonna be like a very short one today because like nothing really has happened other than like the Grammys. And that's about it. But people keep being like, do like song analysis or whatever, and like I've done it before in like several videos, but like so I'm just gonna like pick like ones that I think are the most, you know, like obvious and actually have things to say about it. I'm not very good at using words, so don't expect like a poem. But yeah. So basically, obviously it was the Grammys on last Sunday. Not this Sunday, it was last Sunday. And what a night! That was fucking making me nervous as fuck. Because like she kept losing, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. Like, do you know what I mean? She doesn't have to win everything. But I'm sat here, the fucking album of the year's coming up, she hasn't won anything, and I'm like, okay. People that did win, I agree, that deserved. But fucking hell, I was not emotionally strong enough by the time the album of the year came around. And it came around so quickly, like, it just suddenly came, and I was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, this could make or break my night and or next 3 months. So she won, thank God. Deserved, because like folklore is the moment, do you know what I mean? Like obviously it's not always about like how popular an album is, but like it was everywhere, it came along and changed everyone's lives, do you know what I mean? And obviously like the writing, it just, I don't need to tell you that folklore deserves, because you know, but you know, I'm just saying. The dress was fun. We enjoyed the dress. Obviously flowers, perhaps a daisy here and there. You know, maybe, but obviously I'm not on the Kayla train anymore. And fucking, why did we get baby reveal on Grammy night as well? That was funny as fuck. I'm sorry, it was funny. It made me laugh. No, because now I have hands. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what to do with them. But yeah, that was really funny. And it was just like, of course it happens. We love a coincidence. Like, the entirety of Kayla's relationship has been coincidences. So it was like, you know what? Have another one. Also the performance. I know realistically we got August because Jack loves it. But also at the same time, she saw my tweet saying she was going to perform it, and she performed it. Do you know what I mean? What a bitch. What a trio of songs to sing. It was beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And obviously, the cottagecore situation again, the witchiness. It's just homosexual behaviour. And then what else has happened recently? A couple of songs have showed up on like Shazam or whatever, being like these could be the 6 unreleased ones that are going to be on fucking, on Fearless. A lot of people thought one was called Closet to a Cowboy, but it was actually a typo and it's closest to a cowboy. And I think that one's come out before anyway, and that's on YouTube or something. Dad, I'm filming a video. Oh.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, anyway, but it's funny because like I love like, little coincidence again, little gay typo. But essentially that's all that's happened, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. Oh yeah, I suppose if she obviously mentioned Joe, right? And sure, that seems important, but the way I'm looking at it is, you know how like when Delicate came out, they were seen hiking and he was wearing like dark jeans and Nikes. I'm saying Nikes because I'm an English woman. Like it's kind of like applying, like where she sets up situations, so it's like, oh, do you know what I mean? But I feel like, because obviously in Coney Island, she's like, when I'm on the podium, I've got to say your name. I think she's created the situation so people will draw the connection. That's what I think she's done. And it's clever. But once again, it is marketing. It's marketing because she's a clever bitch. Do you know what I mean? Because we know that Joe is not William Bowery, and it doesn't matter if he was or if he isn't. She is gay anyway. And even if she was Joe, she's still gay. Do you know what I mean? But long story short, it's not a big deal in any capacity. But yeah. Anyway, so like, if we want to talk about analysis, what should we start with? I don't know. So I think, like, obviously Reputation is the easiest to decipher because literally every fucking song on there is undeniable. But if we want to go the classic, I think Don't Blame Me is one of the most compelling, obviously, because you've got the whole thing being like, it can see it two ways, like the drug imagery, but also saying trip of my life and stuff. It's very, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, pointing towards Big Sur. And then the Daisy situation. We know the Daisy. We don't need to talk about the Daisy, like. But, like, and in the footnotes, where the Daisy is the same one from the Big Sur trip. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't even fucking talk to me. And then once again, just, like, the religious imagery of, like, falling from grace and whatnot. And if it is a straight situation, if it's a straight relationship, you're not exactly falling from grace from dating Joe. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, King on My Heart I think is always fun too. It just is, like, obviously. Oh, hang on, I need to get my notes. Like the whole, like, some people like to get into like zodiac shit where it's like King of My Heart, Leo, King. Oh no, but I don't know about that. But obviously, the whole, like, your love is a secret I'm hoping, dreaming, dying to keep. The secrecy and whatnot, obviously a staple in Taylor's music, which is, there is no heterosexual explanation for. I'm sorry. Yeah. And the Up on the Roof of a Schoolgirl Crush is, you know, it is gay. I don't care what anyone says, because I think it's like a double entendre thing where it's like, you know, Schoolgirl Crush. She's basically, like, I don't care, she's talking about a woman in the song, and she's obviously talking about Carly in the song, yeah. And everyone's like, you say you fancy me, not like, you, okay. I can also put in her words that makes me English people. Do you know what I mean? I could do that because I'm English, so that wouldn't be hard. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think like a lot of them are just self-explanatory. Like, if you know the background of it, like, I feel like I don't even know. Do you know what I mean? Dancing with Our Hands Tied, obviously Kiss Kate Anthem. Just like the desperation shit, and Dancing with Our Hands Tied in general is like, you know, you're being held back. I don't even. I like, this is so hard. People are like, do analysis, and I'm just like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all out there. Like, I don't have anything new to say, really, because people are a lot smarter than I am. Sorry. I mean, if we're talking about, you know, obviously, like, all the gold motifs, obviously can link back to golden tattoos and stuff, links back to obviously Drake's party, where they had the matching tattoos and gold tattoos and whatnot, and obviously the whole I don't want you like a best friend thing. Like, she's been singing about falling in love with her best friend for, like, how long now? And don't get me started on the timelines again, because you know these timelines piss me off. You know they piss me off. Because they don't add up. She wrote half these songs before she even met Joe. Shut up! It's not true. But anyway, Joe's not an issue with me, because he's just there, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the man. I think if you want to go throwback, I think The Way I Loved You is gay, because she always does this thing where, like, she's singing about two different relationships in one song, and you can feel that with the use of the pronouns she uses, like you, they, whatnot. And I think it's very much singing about trying to be straight or being, you know, a heterosexual relationship, trying, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. Do you know what I mean? Because it ain't, because you're hiding who you are. I also enjoyed the take where it's like, Better Than Revenge is like about like compulsory heterosexual, compulsory hex, compets. Because I just think that's a fun way to look at it. You know what? Let's take away the sexism and, you know, misogyny from it. Do you know what I mean? And let's think about this from a way where actually it is gay. And I think hating women is gay anyway, because it just is. There's always like a sexual tension behind it. Long story short, do you know what I mean? Our song, obviously, because it's once again using the male perspective, as she does throughout several songs. How You Get the Girl being a fucking blatant slap in the face to people with ears. Or obviously you can read lyrics if you have eyes. Yep. But basically that song, how she got away with that, she's like, yeah, no, I'm, you know, why am I talking like a fucking Tory? Anyway, like How You Get the Girl Back, when it's very clearly she's talking about how to get the girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I Know Places and whatnot, all on there. Like the theme of secrecy and sneaking around again. Sure, like you could be trying to keep things quiet for paparazzi or whatnot, but let's be honest. Do I need to hear 752 songs about it if it's straight? No, because it's not that big of a deal. Do you know what I mean? Put an umbrella up and go about your day. But if it's gay, that adds a new layer of fear that I think we can all understand. And especially in her situation. Do you know what I mean? People are like, why has it just come out? It's scary for most people, and people are still being told, don't come out, don't come out. So we don't know her situation, do you know what I mean? Especially from the background she comes from and stuff. So I think just take a breath and just don't worry about it too much, because it doesn't really matter if she comes out or not, because it's none of your business. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's none of my business if she's gay or not, so that was a bit of like hypocritical. But like, I just think she is. And I support her through that. And if she isn't, then sorry, stop being gay, like stop acting gay, do you know what I mean? I literally wrote a list, guys, and every time I write a list, I'm like, I'm gonna stick to the list, and my head is just like, you've never heard words. 1989 in general is a very like, it starts with Welcome to New York, for fuck's sake. It's like, I belong here. I found my place. Boys and boys and girls and girls. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's very telling of like, she's discovered herself in this new city. She's moved out. She's like, oh, I can be myself. And several of the songs on there happen to be some of the gayest we've ever heard. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I Know Places we spoke about. And You're in Love, Falling in Love with Your Best Friend Again, which she said was supposedly about Jack Antonoff and Lena Dunham, and they were like, don't know what the fuck you're on about, that does not explain our relationship. And obviously, you can take liberties when writing songs. It doesn't have to be like, this is fact, this is fact. But when you're describing supposedly a relationship that your friends have and they don't even recognise it. Speaking of Jack Antonoff, his reactions, he came to help us during the Long Pond session things, where he was like about the Betty explanation and Joe's William Bowery and whatnot. And when Taylor was thanking Joe at the Grammys, he also, you know, was doing his facial expressions again, where, you know, I think. And also, if we talk about the situation where he was saying he likes to work with gay women, and then that guy asked if Taylor was gay, and he was like, oh, no. So I just think Taylor needs to be careful with Jack around. But yeah. See, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm literally. I'll write you an essay, do you know what I mean? But I can't speak it. What are they? Yeah. Reds. arguably some people say it's her straightest album, but I just think it needs a song, an album with Treacherous on it, an album with Holy Ground on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, watch your mouth. Holy Ground is obviously one of the baitest songs ever. The whole leaving a joke on the door thing, and then the joke that we see with Diana, like, just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. But, like, it's not even about, like, applying situations to certain things. Like, it's just the vibes, especially more recently with, like, Betty and whatnot. But Betty, you could apply it, a lot of people apply it to, like, the wedding situation and, you know, the whole, there kind of was a love triangle, with, like, her, Carly, and Josh, I guess. And Seven, I think she's becoming a lot more honest by not being honest in songs these days, like, if that makes any sense at all. Whereas, like, Seven is very telling and autobiographical, while not being, you know, real. And I think that's a clever way to do it because, you know, it takes away a lot of the question about it, but people that are supposed to get it will get it. And I think, you know, that's a really testament to her songwriting on Folklore and Evermore and whatnot. I think Evermore's a bit more bait that is real, like Happiness and whatnot. And I know people are saying that Happiness is about like Abigail and her husband or whatever, but there's a lot of it that does match up, like the 7 Years in Heaven and stuff like that. It's just she used very similar motifs throughout all of her albums for them not to be connected and to be about certain things. Like obviously in Rep you had the gold stuff, and then I just think if you're paying attention, you get it. Do you know what I mean? And not to say that, you know, straight Swifties aren't getting her music or whatever, because everyone's going to take what they want from music, because it is to be interpreted. But it is gay, I think, and obviously a lot of people think. I'm sorry that I don't have a brain. I also think, obviously, she's done a lot of growing up in her writing. Obviously, she's like 31 now, so obviously you'd hope so. But she's become a lot more introspective, I think, and, you know, it's less like, oh, you cheated on me, bitch, and she's sort of being like, no, I can be wrong too. And I think a lot of her fans need to understand that she can be wrong too. But I think, I know this isn't talking about being gay, but I just love Taylor Swift and I just feel like I want to talk about her, so I'm going to. But I'm just really impressed, you know, like she's never dropped the ball. She's always, what's the word? No, not kept her eye on the ball. I'm trying to say, like, she's always, like, improved herself. Like, she's persevering. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, with each stage of her career, like, she's taken things and she's been like, no, I'm going to do it better. Yeah. I'm sorry for, my brain. But yeah, I just think, sometimes I forget how talented she is, because like, I'm just like, I'm a fan, do you know what I mean? And then when I actually take a look closer, I'm like, wow, she actually is talented. What am I talking about? I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay. And I think the, like, introspection, sorry, I'm trying to straighten that, really sort of, obviously there's been moments of it throughout, but I think Lover was really where she started to be a bit more honest in her writing. I think, you know, you've got really personal songs like Cornelia Street and whatnot on there, and Daylight, the whole like second half of the album, I'd say. Ignoring Me and You Need to Calm Down. You need to calm down maybe to a degree. But I think, you know, with Daylight and Afterglow, I think she really has found a new way to write about her feelings and whatnot and emotions, and I think that's really interesting to see. Daylight obviously being a very intimate song. It very much does feel like a confession or a coming out, or in a certain way. Just Like, oh, the imagery. The imagery. Like, yeah. I sound like a twat, but it's fine. And my mum's in the other room, and I know she's being like, what the fuck is she talking about? But, you know, I think, I mean, if we have to get into Cornelia Street, we'll get into it. But that's very much obviously about Carly. And that's not even analysis, that's just fact. I just think it's really difficult to analyse songs when you know everything, like the sort of context behind everything, because I'm just like, and I wasn't good at analysing poems at school because I just saw them for what they were. You know what I mean? I'm not a very like, this means this. I just see things and I'm like, okay, I think that is that, and then that's that. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry if you wanted strong words and wistfulness, but that's not me. Sorry.